arguments, you probably heard them, it's going to drive investment in Victoria Park. It's going to expand our tax base. It's going to, it's a different project than a usual arena. All those sorts of things you hear from different councillors, different members of the community. Do you buy those arguments?
No. It's clear it's not going to do those things. There's yet another economic study being done. I would be shocked if that economic study came out any different than the piles of economic studies on arenas and stadiums in different communities everywhere in North America that generally say that public financing doesn't pay itself back economically. But I've said this for many years. There are many kinds of public benefit that are not economic benefit. And what I've been saying to proponents of the arena is, don't sell me magic beans. Just be really honest and say, this is the amount of public financing it's going to take to build this, and this is why we think it's a good investment in the city. You know, look, we're in a situation where we don't want to build any office buildings for the next 10 years or so. We want to fill up what we've got. So there's not going to be office buildings that'll be spurred by the arena, as you saw in Edmonton. Well, there shouldn't be. That would actually be a bad thing for the city in the short term. We're sitting at about a 20-year supply of multi-family residential apartments and condos. So you don't want to oversaturate that market either by building a whole bunch more condos when you've still got a 20-year supply of unsold ones. Yeah, you're going to have a hotel. Hotel is really important, but that's not going to carry it. Hotel and restaurant and bars, they'll be great for the community and they may well be good things to invest in, but they're not going to carry the economic argument. Now, the good news is that for the BMO Centre, it's a very well-run organization. It's not going to require operating costs in the future. So we can actually afford to take a bit of a moonshot here in the hopes that that will be able to spur that kind of development. The arena, we really have to think hard about private profit, public benefit, public cost, because those things come together. But I'm sounding very negative. I'm really open-minded on this. And I've said for a long time that you don't have to make only an economic benefit argument. You can make a social benefit argument. You can make a community argument. Those arguments are powerful. Just don't try to pull the wool over people's eyes with magic numbers. And I don't think anybody's trying to do that right now.
What is it going to take for a deal to work this time, do you think? What would have to be different? We
got to have people of goodwill coming to the table and really making sure they've exhausted all the options. They're not just looking at the Edmonton deal and saying, what can we do here? But they've looked at financing models that are in different cities. The recent deals in Seattle and New York are totally different than anything that's ever been done in Canada. Let's remember that of the 7 arenas in Canada, only 2 of them were publicly owned, Calgary and Edmonton. The rest are private money. So, you know, there are lots of different models to look at. So we've got to exhaust these models. We've got to make sure we're getting the smartest people in the world advising us on this. And we got to make sure people have good hearts and open minds sitting around the table. Those are not insurmountable challenges at all. I think that we can do all of those things. And ultimately, if we come up with a deal that makes sense for Calgarians, then I will be a champion of that deal.